here we go.
All right, time now to welcome a man who is truly a jack of all trades when it comes to this media thing. Whether he's working as a writer covering combat sports, hip-hop magazines, and artists such as Jay-Z or Kendrick Lamar, or even pro wrestling. And here he is again, co-creating excellence with the cartoon short film Bridges, to be released on day one of Black History Month. Don't take my word for it. The piece is so good, it was nominated for an NAACP Image Award. I'm talking about none other than Las Vegas's own, my guy, Andreas Hale, man. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay, here we go.
We just take a look at some of the short film. It's fantastic, Bridges. What was the catalyst to making this film for you and your co-creators?
So listen, back in 2020, obviously it's a pandemic and everybody had to be at home. And obviously we all know what happened with George Floyd. One of my really good friends is Big E from the WWE. My other good friend is Jonathan Davenport, who makes the wrestling gear.
Okay.
They did some wrestling gear that was Schoolhouse Rock inspired with Black history people. You know, they had like Ida B. Wells and Cornel West. And he wore it in the ring. And I called him and I said, what are you doing with that? He's like, oh, I'm just wearing it to the ring. I said, that can't die in the wrestling ring. We got to do something bigger. So we got on the phone, we had a few conversations. I said, let's start a Kickstarter. See if we could raise some money to make a cartoon in the vein of Schoolhouse Rock, but with Black history.
Okay.
So it's a little science fiction, it's a little hip hop, it's a little Black history. We raised over $135,000. Okay. It was a 3-year labor of love. I got a good friend of mine, Rhapsody. She's Grammy nominated.
Yeah,
the
she's
producer.
dope.
Yeah, she's incredible. Producer Eric, the architect from the Flatbush Zombies, did the original song. My name is Ruby Bridges. And it all came together and we finally got this thing out.
Man, now I watched it. From you seeing the first time that it was finally done, all done, music, everything else, what were your thoughts? Like, I thought it was amazing.
I mean, to be honest, I couldn't believe it. We worked with a production house called Something's Awry. Okay. And they did a lot of our animation. And I couldn't have dreamed that it would have came out the way that it did. We mixed a little bit of 3D. You know, it almost looks like a Pixar movie.
Yeah, no, it really does. It really does, yes.
And then we have the 2D element, which is the music video. And it just came out much better than I could have ever imagined. And from the feedback that we got, we were in the Urban World Film Festival in November.
Yeah, I remember you went back to New York.
Yeah, which was incredible. Yeah. And we got great feedback. And then the people that have seen it, you know, word got around. I think Spring Hill, LeBron James' company's taking a look at it. And yeah.
LeBron James, okay.
It's good times, but we decided February 1st to kick off Black History Month, a very crucial time. We have a big election coming up. We know how race is treated in this country. And what we wanted to do, the foundation of this is, you know, racism is just a big misunderstanding. So we want to attack it at the root, which is with children.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason for this, because Ruby Bridges was the first kid to integrate schools. She's still alive.
I saw that.
You know, she's still alive.
I saw that.
We wanted to make sure we told that story, but we also wanted to tell it with a little bit of heart, with something that kids could relate to, being isolated, being the outcast, trying to fit in. So I don't want to give that too much because I want people to see
absolutely,
it.
Absolutely.
But that was the overall goal, is to give something that parents and kids can relate to with a song that as adults, look, I love Baby Shark. Don't get me wrong. But I've had enough of it. And hopefully these, parents will listen to My Name is Ruby Bridges by Grammy-nominated artist Rhapsody and enjoy listening to that, because we're all tired of Baby Shark.
No, I know, absolutely. A question I had a few lines down. I'll go with it now, though. You being a father and having children, was that somewhat of the inspiration to have this type of film, something that you could make as far as Black history for children that are out there?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with me. As a child, I didn't go outside a whole lot. I was an only child. Okay. I learned a lot from TV. I sat in front of a TV a lot. Okay. And I know how influential it is. And my daughter's 7 and she's always on a screen. Yeah. And my son, he's just turning 2. He don't know what anything is right now. But I know how much you can learn and how much you're influenced by what you see. And when I see her, I want her to see something that's inspiring, and I want to see something that looks like her, because that's imperative for me. Representation matters. And we say it a lot, but it's true. My daughter loves it. My daughter's actually in it. There's a little character of her, and she glows every time she sees herself with little afro puffs. We want things to resonate and look like us. Yes.
That's your baby.
That's my baby.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm a girl dad. I have 2 girls. So when I saw that, I immediately identified with it for my daughters as well. And I'm thinking, as a father, this had to have some reason why he made it with the little girl and everything else.
100%.
Okay. And something else, I looked up Ruby Bridges, and her birthday is September 8th. That's my birthday.
Well, we got a lot of synergy going on.
There we go. Now, you in your nomination, I saw that you described this as something being with a writer, a wrestler, and an artist. Who are the? I know who the wrestler is now, but who are the other two? Like, how did you?
Well, I'm the writer, and Jonathan Davenport is the artist.
Okay, I got you.
So yeah, so it's three guys who have never made a cartoon in their life. Johnny is at least he's done storyboards for cartoons and things in the past, but. You know, three guys who have no business making a cartoon got together to make a cartoon because we just want to change the future. Like, we want to change things. We hope we can get this in the school system. Because Black History shouldn't be the only month that we're learning about Black history.
Yes.
It's American history.
Yes.
So we hope that we hope it gets picked up. We hope we can make a lot more of these because as a kid, you remember Schoolhouse Rock?
Of course.
How did the bill become a law? Everybody knows that. We want the
Hill.
same thing to go with Ruby Bridges and Black History. We want it to be a jingle that's stuck in your head and that kids can learn about themselves in the simplest, easily digestible way possible.
Super easy, and you're kind of seeing some of the video behind us or whatever for the preview that we have back here. Now, with having Ruby Bridges, how did you fixate on just her specifically? I mean, there's so many, Rosa Parks. So many different historical figures. Any particular reason why you went with Ruby?
We thought it was the most easily digestible individual.
Okay.
Because it's an easy story. A little girl who's going to school and is getting rocks thrown at her just for being Black.
Yeah.
She has no idea why these parents are yelling at her, why she has to be escorted by the police. And it's not a difficult story to tell. I think it's something that everybody can relate to. Being the outcast.
Yeah.
Not wanting people to be around you, being alone. We felt like that was a very easy story to tell. And again, she's alive. People think that
wild.
Black history is like the slavery and 400 years ago. No, this is the 60s when this happened.
Yeah.
Ruby's as old as my parents.
Mine too, yeah. No, I thought about that as well, in the fact that in talking about Ruby Bridges, or even if you have like the, Rosa Parks or whatever, the fact that you don't have to go back that far to hear this kind of stuff or to see this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, our parents actually dealt with the kind of stuff that kids nowadays think that, that happened like 800 years ago. Like, that problem's gone after Obama was elected, right?
No, it doesn't go away. We still have a lot of racial issues in this country. It's everywhere, in some way, shape, or form, but it all boils down to ignorance and misunderstanding. And I think if we understand the struggles that we have, we all get it. We're all people at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
It sounds like a very cliche line, but children don't know that they're Black until somebody tells them there's something wrong with them because of the color of their skin. You don't recognize that you're different until somebody tells you you're different.
Yeah.
I had it happen to me, I'm sure you had it happen to you. Ruby had it happen to her.
Yeah.
So that's a story, again, that everybody can relate to.
And then again, too, kids, all kids play with all kids. Like,
Correct.
Kids don't know whether or not kids are different. They love kids, they love each other until some adult generally tells them that there's some reason that you shouldn't be playing with that kid or whatever. So, yeah. Now, as far as you doing documentaries, you're not new to the whole documentary game, right?
No, I've produced some documentaries in the past. I love storytelling as a writer.
Yeah.
I produced a documentary on Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
When I used to work at BET, I became friends with Kendrick, and I started working with Jay-Z, and I produced a few documentaries on Kendrick Lamar, boxers like Zab Judah, Gennady Golovkin, Adrian Broner, other artists like Macklemore. We did one on EA Sports. I've done one on Timothy Bradley, so I'm not new to the documentary game, but cartoons is a whole new field for me.
Yeah. So you had an artist, someone that went, I'm assuming someone drew it by hand, or it was all computer generated. How did that?
So Johnny drew everything by hand. He started off, we had the idea, Etor, who was Biggie, he voices the robot Etor.
Okay.
He had the idea of how he wanted to make these futuristic looking and robots, because kids love robots.
Yeah.
But also, remember, it's a pandemic. We were all experiencing life through screens. And that's kind of the premise of this. There's a Hall of Heroes. It's like a museum of Black history, but you visit it virtually. But he drew all this by hand. And then we got the production house involved, and shout out to Amy and Chris Theron, who helped do all the animation and the sound design, and they just made it look so fantastic and so real. I just didn't want to make a bootleg cartoon. The message can often get lost. If the art doesn't match the message, you'll lose people. And we're so thankful that the art is just as good as the message.
It does not look like you and your guys just got together. We're going to put together this little cartoon real quick. It absolutely looks like something from Pixar that you would see on a big screen television.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no, fantastic job. Now, I mentioned it in the open that you are a Las Vegan. born and raised. Can you believe that we're going to have a Super Bowl? No. A Super Bowl in your hometown in 2 weeks?
Sir, no. My man, I grew up here. There was like 8 high schools, right? You know, I went to Valley High School. We didn't have a team. I'm a 49ers fan. Shout out for my Niners going to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But the idea that the Super Bowl is going to be happening in Vegas is insane. And fortunately for me, I'm at the age now where I get to work the Super Bowl. I'll be working at Radio Row for SiriusXM. It's a dream come true. We never had anything like this. We had the NBA All-Star game, which was crazy.
Yeah, I worked that.
But the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl. Hey, now when is the NAACP Image Awards, and when will you find out if you actually win this award?
March 16th in LA. It's a broadcast live on BET.
Okay.
We just found out about the nomination, so we have no idea if it's going to be televised or anything. We don't care.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I was blown away, and the way I found out about this is, I was driving home from dropping my daughter off at school, and a good friend of mine, Gail Bean, who's Wanda from Snowfall, she got nominated.
I knew something was dropping. I thought you were gonna say a good friend of mine, Kendrick Lamar, called me up to tell.
Stop. But I saw that she got nominated. She was like, look on Variety, you should scroll down. And I scrolled down and I saw Our Heroes Rock nominated for, Bridges nominated for Most Outstanding Film Animation. Almost got in a car accident. Don't text and drive, I was at a light, but I had to look. It's a dream come true.
No,
man.
it couldn't be any cooler. It couldn't be any cooler. And as someone who's worked in media, this past year we had like fantastic, as far as combat sports. I mean, you and I, we go to boxing, UFC all the time.
Yes.
And speaking of boxing, our guy, Terrence Crawford, the big fight that he had against Errol Spence, could you please enlighten me on what you think is going to be next for this guy? Because the fact that Errol just got himself surgery on his eye, is he going to get an opportunity to follow up on the biggest fight that we've seen in a while?
It is really difficult. As you know, Terrence Crawford wanted to fight Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like Canelo's very interested in Terrence Crawford right now. It looks like he's interested in probably Jaime Munguia or Jamal Charlo.
Yeah.
For Terrence, I don't know where he goes from here. He had one of the most outstanding performances I've ever seen in between 2 pound-for-pound fighters of that caliber.
Yeah.
That was one-sided beatdown. We've never seen anything like that. He's one of the best of this generation, arguably one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him get back in the ring against somebody worth something. But we don't know. Maybe he fights at 54 for a vacant belt. Maybe he moves to 60. He wants to fight Canelo at 68. I want Canelo to take that smoke. I want to see what happens.
Me too.
But we'll have to wait and see, man. We got to wait and see. Bud Crawford is one of the best that there is. I think he's pound for pound still #1 in the world.
Okay, I got you. And for people who don't know, as you said, Bridges will be released February 1st, the start of Black History Month. How can people absorb it? How can they watch it?
Yes. Our Heroes Rock has a YouTube page.
Okay.
That's the name of the company, OHR Media. That's where we'll be on YouTube on February 1st. You follow us on all social media handles at Our Heroes Rock. So we'll have all the information there, and it'll drop on February 1st, but we're going to be pushing this thing all the way up until the NAACP Awards. Please share it. I don't say it selfishly. I just think our children need something like this, and our community needs something like this in their lives.
You know what? You don't have to be selfish. Share this thing. Anyone who has seen it, like myself, I've shared it. I will continue to share it. I had to invite you in so you could talk to the people in your hometown and let them know what you've done, what you've accomplished, and the fact that this film is fantastic, whether you have a little girl like myself too, or a little boy, or no kid, whatever. It's phenomenal, man. You guys did really good work, man.
Thank you, man. That's all we ever wanted to do, man. It's like I grew up and I wanted to be a great storyteller and make a difference. I wanted to make something that would affect people. And hopefully this is that. So hopefully everybody tunes in on February 1st and they can enjoy it.
And the 49ers going to beat the Chiefs? Or?
Yeah, this is a revenge game for us. 2019, we fell short.
I remember.
Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant.
Brock Purdy over Pat Mahomes.
This year, yes, sir.
Okay, there we go. Andreas Hale, my guy. I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely, thank you.